Hello and welcome to my channel where we are making a gourmet tasting cake using a box mix. And today we are making a delicious apple upside down cake. So stick around while we make something boxed, but better. The first thing we need to do is prepare our 8x8 pan by lightly coating it in some baking spray. Next, we are going to place a piece of parchment paper that has been cut to size to fit the bottom. The baking spray will help to hold this piece down onto the bottom. Now we will place this to the side while we work on our brown sugar and butter mixture. I am using 4 tablespoons of melted butter combined with a half cup of packed brown sugar. Mix this together until your brown sugar becomes completely incorporated with your butter. Now, this is the part where I'm going to note that when I made my test cake, it was a divided opinion on how much sugar to actually add. The first one I did, I used an entire cup of brown sugar and an entire 8 tablespoons of butter. And a lot of people liked that because they said it had a very nice candied flavor. However, the other half of my test group said that it was too sweet. So I think really what the important part is to know your audience when you are making this cake. And then decide if you should do the half cup or the full cup of your brown sugar mixture. For the record, I really liked the full cup because I do have a big sweet tooth. I am a pastry chef after all. Pour your brown sugar and butter mixture into your pan and then spread it out evenly with your spatula across the bottom. Once you have it evenly spread out, we are going to set it to the side and cut up our apples. Now for your apples, I generally recommend 2 to 3 depending on the size. I had 3 relatively small apples, so I went ahead and used all 3. We are going to peel these, and then once they have been fully peeled, we are going to roughly dice them. What I mean by roughly dice is that we are just going to chop them into generally small pieces. They don't have to be precise or perfect. Just something small enough to where when we cut our cake, the apples don't get caught on the knife and it will make for an easier cutting of your cake. This part is up to your discretion of how large or small you would like your apple pieces. But here is a close-up of how roughly I chopped my apple pieces. As you can see, there are some large and small pieces, and I feel like they were just the right size for my cake. Take your diced apple pieces and scatter them around on top of your brown sugar and butter mixture. Once you have distributed your apple pieces evenly among the top of your brown sugar mixture, we are going to lightly press them into the brown sugar and butter. This will help to anchor them so that when you add your batter on top, they don't get swept away. This part is optional. I am adding a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon to the top of my apples. I meant to actually mix it into my brown sugar mixture, but totally forgot, but it's still good. Now we are going to make our batter. In a large bowl, we are going to add 1 9-ounce box of yellow cake mix, and follow that with 2 large eggs. Follow that up with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then a 1/4 cup of sour cream. I like to use the full fat sour cream. After that, we are going to add 1/3 cup of apple juice and mix it on high speed with our hand mixer until fully incorporated. It will take about 2 to 3 minutes. The batter is going to be a little more on the loose and runny side for this cake, so if that is what you are getting, you are on the right track. Pour your batter over your apple pieces, and then you can use your spatula to gently cover any apple pieces that did not get covered with the batter. Once it is done, we are going to bake it at 335 degrees Fahrenheit. It has been 45 minutes and my cake is done. There are 2 ways to check to see if it is done. The first is the poke test. Gently poke it with your finger, and if it springs back to your touch, it is done. The next is the toothpick test. Insert a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, you know your cake is done. Now we are going to let this cool for about 20 to 25 minutes before we flip it out. The bottom of your cake pan might still be warm, so I recommend using gloves. I forgot to use a butter knife to loosen the edges of my cake from the pan, but it still came out really well. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And here is a close-up. You can see that the apple pieces baked beautifully, and it just looks really simple, but believe me, it is really, really delicious. And here is a slice because I know a lot of people want to see a slice. Also, I completely devoured the slice as soon as I was done filming. I highly recommend eating this while it is still warm, and if you have it with some whipped cream or some vanilla ice cream. It is so phenomenal. And there we have it, our amazing apple upside down cake. Thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below and I will do my best to answer them. And I will see you next time on Boxed But Better with Jenna. All right, I'm about to eat this. Make something boxed, but better. No, I've been wearing my glasses the whole time. Okay, that's fine.